that you never started. You once destroyed a broken heart that was already shattered. Holding on to what we have and take us to the edge and back. Holding on to what we have and take us to the edge and back.
Let's go! It's Monday morning. We're getting our week started. I got a half week this week. I'm going out of town Wednesday night. That's still in the air for me. I'm going out of town Wednesday, going to California. I'm going to be in LA, then to San Diego, then back to LA. I'm going to be vibing all weekend. But for now, I'm getting you for Monday, Tuesday, possibly Wednesday morning. We're going to be on stream doing it live right here. If you looked at the stream description, just chatting, maybe production or mixing, I think we're going to go with some mixing today. Because I got some beats I want to get mixed, so we're going to get into that. Hope everyone in the chat's doing well. All vibing out. I need to see if the audio's working. Looks like the mic's going, so we're good there. But let me just pull up my Twitch, see how it sounds. I think it's sounding pretty good. Hey, we got bands in the chat. Just recorded this dude last week, man. Real talented dude, pushing out new music. It's really sick. Okay. That's working. Hell yeah. I need my stream deck up. Bet. All right. Hey, 808. Hope you well, brother. I hope you're well, 808. Welcome to the chat, my man. We're gonna get into some mixing. I got maybe. Let me get a count here. Let's see where we're at. I got some beats I need to finish up because I want to get them uploaded to BeatStar. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 beats, instrumentals I need to finish. I don't know if I can get them all done today, but they're mostly mixed. This is actually more mixed notes, but I looked at my notes. I don't have notes for these, so we're just gonna listen to them, see where they're at, and if I feel like they need that little extra sauce, we're gonna do that. If I feel like they're good to go, we're gonna hit the bounce. I'll show you my I need to finish 5 complete productions in 2 days, so I feel the deadlines. Ugh. He's talking about complete. I'm just addressing notes. I'm like, ooh, I think that snare needs to go down. That's all I'm doing. You're talking about full productions? Ugh, not for me right now. My brain can't get into that. But I've done that before. I know exactly what you're talking about, but my brain's not into that right now. So good luck to you, 808. And if you guys are following on Twitch, follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube. If you're following on Instagram, follow me on Twitch, follow me on YouTube. If you're following YouTube, follow me on Twitch and follow me on Instagram. We're streaming live on all these. I wish I was in your shoes right now. This is a self-motivated thing, trying to get all these beats. If you have deadlines for clients, that's a whole different thing. If I have a deadline for a client, that gets shot right up to the top of the priority list, right? 808, you know what I mean? Dead Bands, I did some work from last week. His stuff went straight to the top of the priority. That's how that works. These kind of projects, I can take my time, although I need to be self-motivated because I'm my own client, right? Isn't that the idea, Dead Bands? Dead Band says, I was going to say you should try to make a Chicago drill beat. Those are very viral right now. Let's go. Chicago drill beat. I need to get myself familiar with kind of what beats are popping off right now, and sounds like Band said that the Chicago drill beat is something that I should be focusing on. So there you go. Bet, 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 bet. Bet, 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 bet. All right. Let's get into Logic. I want to pull up this first. Where is it? Okay. So Chucky's good reference. Okay, now see, that's what I need. I need the references. All right, so here's my organization. These are, if you see the title with my name, with the key and the BPM, that beat is done. So all those are done. All those are done. So I have to go to where I have them just labeled with the date, because those are in progress. So that's where I'm going to start. So this track, Endless, right? I'm going to find that over in my sessions, and we are going to open that session. We can close this blank session. I just had that session open to hear just make sure Logic was going through the stream. So that was working. Very organized. Bands, I have so much stuff. This is just beats. I have full songs. I got stuff for sync. I got, everything I do at the studio. Those are all separate folders. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of gigs of stuff here. Probably close to about a terabyte of stuff. So if I don't keep this stuff organized, I lose my mind because stuff is missing. Sessions don't open properly. So that's how we have to approach it. I don't think I'm playing keyboard today, but I don't know. Do you guys like having the keyboard in the screen? It's kind of fun. Yeah, I'll leave it up because maybe I want to add something to one of the beats. I don't think so because I'm just mixing. So we'll see how that feels. Still loading. These productions you gotta do, those are all client productions, or what's the deal? Oh, cool. Pinwheel. Right off rip. See, I got ideas for melodies, just don't got the beat making skill to bring them to life. Well, you have the melody part, so that's already a start, and that can lead to me into the beat making portion, because the melody is the music part, right? So you already have the musical ear, right? So you transfer that into your beats. Now you're in good shape. All right, cool. This is a kind of, I guess it's kind of a funk R&B kind of track. So let's take a quick listen to this. I'm gonna pause the background music, and then hopefully the audio goes through. Here we go. More R&B, less funk. It's kind of more of a pop track. I'm turning up my speaker so I can hear it. Ooh. Right off rip, I can tell you that this kick is just too subby. And this kick is from the Logic kits, so they allow us to swap out. That might be better. That one right there. Can I get just a little bit lower? Low tuning. Let's hear that with the beat now. Don't like that either. Okay. Now we gotta gain that down. It's a little. There we go. I could see myself swapping that out completely. Take off the keys here. See, that kick's not doing it for me, so what we gotta do is we gotta make, let's see, what's the best way to do this? We're gonna pull this down, mute that for now, we'll come back to that. We're gonna change these to MIDI, convert to MIDI, and then I'm literally just gonna pull the kick drums from here and make a kick drum track. And that's usually pretty easy. These are all kicks, right? And then I can just swap out. Delete or mute? Delete, just so it's cleaner. Alright, those are all kick drums now. And now I can swap this guy out for a new kick drum. So we'll just call this kick MIDI for now. Organization-wise, kick MIDI. So I can find one that works. And we'll probably use Splice. We'll just use our presets. Do we have kick available on this? Kicks. There we go. So for this kind of track, I kind of want like a kick that kind of is punchy. Because the other one was just too subby, too bassy. Especially, I don't want it fighting with the bass, like guitar, you know. So let's go back to Splice. That one's not bad. This one here, it's a little subby still. Punch, kind of punchy. I kind of like that one. Chartreuse. Let's try that. So we drop our kick here. We could drop it right into, what's the best place? Since we're just doing the one, we'll do original. Bring this bad boy up there. Bring our kicks down. And I need to see where the main note, root 3. Actually, let's make, because these kicks usually sit on C1. So let's do this. This one's easier, I think. Change the root to C1. On the sampler. Boom. Mute that guy. And then go back to our main kit. And I'm going to... That's cute. What the hell was that? I'm still here making some food. Yeah, get your breakfast in, player. I need to schedule a mix for next Thursday as well. Not this Thursday. Yeah. Just let me know, man. Next Thursday's Halloween. Halloween mix? Bet. Can I just cut that out? No. I guess we gotta do it. How do we... Oh. Yeah, how am I gonna do that? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's what Daddy likes. There we go. It's not as like subby and bassy, right? Hop on some Black Ops 2 type-ish. Let's go. What the hell is that? Wow. We do not need these. Make sure everything else is out there. There we go. That's much better for me, that kick. Okay, great. We can now hide that. We don't need that. Studio is perks, I think. These are perks. So let's get some labeling going just to make sure we're in line here. Bass, piano, SoCal piano. That's like setting, flutes. Can I get... Oh, that's why it's that way. Here. There we go. Easier to look at. Cool. Save. What was that, low key? It was, I don't know. It may have been that thing I took out. Because what happened was I took the drums that I had, took the MIDI and then replaced it with a kick, and then the kick had multiple pitches going, so that was probably one of those multi-pitch things. Let's get our colors right. That kind of gold right there. Oops. Just rebalancing the kick and the bass there. This gives me Will Paradise vibes. Hell yeah. I kind of like that this has kind of that live bass feel as opposed to an 808 too. Cool. So yeah, so I already got the Feels No Will Paradise low-key got the same vibe. Oh shit, alright. Yeah, I definitely didn't hear it before I did this beat. This beat was like a couple weeks ago, I think, right? So I've been using Ozone on the kick on the drum bus, but I think actually let's do the kick first. Let's just get this kick lined in a little bit. Here we go. Just use Pro Q3. We're gonna cut some of these little peaky resonant joints. Just use the analyzer for that. Here, I would maybe add some transient shaper for a kick, but this kick has so much punch to it, don't really need to. I am going to add a little compression to just make sure that that's not killing us. So we're going to use the 1176, the UAD 1176. So we're getting a lot of compression there, compressor. So I'm going to pull back the input. Maybe keep it 3 to 5. Yeah. Regain that. Yeah. Throw the 1176 on there. Getting this, 5 dB gain reduction. I set the attack in the really super fast, so it's hitting that compression really fast, right? Set it to 4, so we're getting a good amount of that compression, so anything popping is getting kind of held down, and then that output, we're pushing it back up so we get our gain back in the volume. So all those softer kicks get a little bit of a push, a little more even. And with the 1176, you get a little bit of color from the hardware analyte, the hardware, saturation too. So sounds good. I've been playing with this. I don't always use it, but I like to try R-Bass on here. And what I like to do is I look at the analyzer on ProQ. See, our fundamental note is here. That's at 48. I look at the second one, see where that kind of sits. So that's about 100. So I'll set this frequency on R-Bass to 100. And then I'll push the intensity. So you get some more of that mid kind of stuff. I'm not even going to push it that hard. Absolutely, bands. We could do a call for sure. So we're giving it a little bit of that mid body. It also helps us separate a little bit from the kick, at least sound wise. Yeah, bands, I'll give you a text once I'm wrapped up. We can get on a call. Ooh. Cool. We like that. And then I think that's all I want for that. So all we got to do now is what I like to do is right now that kick is hitting at negative 18.5 on the meter. Let's see if we can create a little bit extra headroom so when we push this into the limiter, go eat, bands. When we push this into the limiter, it won't be, popping that limiter super hard. So what I like to do is pull up a BX Clipper, play this thing back. I like to set the ceiling, and then I set it to diode. That seems to work better for these kind of kicks and snares. And I want you to hear this. So that's our kick. The clipping can run the risk of distorting, so the higher you push, you can hear a little of that distortion. So we're gonna pull it back. And I like to get a good amount of this gain reduction here on the clipping, because what we're trying to do is get these peaks lower. What's nice is audibly you're not hearing too much difference, but we're gaining back stuff too. So hit the auto trim, that brings it and gains it back to where it originally was. Negative 18.5 was our peak, negative 22.1 now on the meter. So we just got back more than 4 dB of headroom. So that's going to be great when we get into that limiter at the end. I'm going to just hit this with another compressor, make sure nothing's peaking over the top. Two to 3 dB gain reduction, I think. We're not trying to compress it too crazy. Gain match it. Cool. So it looks like I already have the God Particle on here, but I've been messing with a new trick that is super interesting and fun. So I'm going to highlight all of these. I'm going to bust these out to another aux. So this aux here, I'm going to call this the boom aux. And then I'm going to route that back into bus 3, which is our drum bus. Bus 3, boom. And then I was going to place this right here. I'm going to send all of these to our boom, and then the boom's going to go to our drum bus where our God Particle is. And then what happens is I got my preset already here. This is a Jason Joshua trick technique, which I think is really cool. He's got 8 NLS buses that are varying in different emulators and different amount of drive and stuff. And what it does, it kind of adds like this extra bit of analog saturation, some width, some warmness, some punch. It's crazy. So let me play the drums without. I'll leave those. With. Yeah, stuff's kind of popping out a little bit. Without. With the mix. I can even probably gain that back a little bit. Let's see what we're taking. With the boom. Yeah, damn. Sounds cool already. Yeah. So I had Ozone Maximizer. We're going back to the soft clipper. We're going to soft clip the whole drum bus. What we're looking for is the soft clipper hitting these peaks. See, like big hitters like that. getting some nice gain reduction. Let's auto trim it and hear the difference. And there shouldn't be that much difference. Let's listen. What I'm aiming for here is not to sonically change the drums. What I'm trying to do is get these peaks lowered, so once again we get into limiting at the end, we can get this thing loud. And just by looking here, let's take a look. So meter is at peaking negative 17.3. Let's turn on 15.8. Let's get that soft clipper in. I was looking at the wrong thing. Hold up. Alright. Meters hitting at negative 14. Let's put our soft clipper on. There we go. Negative 19, 18. So we took about 4 to 5 off the headroom of the drums. That's going to help us on the limiting side. That's great. Great. Those are kind of the big things I'm hearing with this. These are sounding great. I think I want to tie these together. And what we're going to do... Guitar all. I love using Ozone's a mastering software, but I like using it kind of outside the mastering. I like using the Imager, and they got this preset here, dynamic width. Gonna gain match it so we're not making it too loud. So without, listen to this guitar part. Let me mute the drums. Run it. Width. Now we've added some like width to that. I can push these a little bit. Without. Width. It's kind of hitting our ears even a little bit wider too. That's what I like about it a lot. I could technically maybe keep this dead center, this one here, but I kind of even like the width of the melody too. With the everything. I think we can do the same. Oh, actually, I think these already have it. Do they? I already put it on there. Do I want to go wider? Probably not, because if I have the guitars super wide and then I have the pianos super wide, then they're all living in the same space. So I'm going to keep them a little more narrow, as you saw here on the Imager. I have them here where the guitars, I had them way further up. So these guys are staying a little bit closer here, where the guitar's a little further out. So now they got their own space. Damn, I like this. It sounds good. Alright, cool. Like the balance, like where everything's at. Let's take a look at this stereo. So I have God particle there. Let's look at this BX clipper and pull this guy up. So we have BX and Pro L2. Let's see where... So right now, we're looking at -10, -9. Getting a little gain reduction here. But if you look on our clipper, it's barely clipping anything, probably set from what I had before. So let's run it again. We're going to get the ceiling set, and we're going to try this knee again. I'm going to pull our Pro L2 down, and I want you to check this out. This is interesting. This is something I kind of discovered. So you're looking at everything coming into Pro L2, and see the disparity from kind of the lowest peaks to the highest peaks. What we're trying to do here with the clipper is try to close that gap between them, which means those high peaks won't be triggering the limiter so much, and the low peaks will be louder, right? So then everything sounds louder. And we're trying to do that without distorting. That's basically what we're doing. So, all right, we've set our peak over in the clipper. We're gonna start pushing this. All these peaks are basically our drums. Sometimes a peak of the melodies and stuff pop in there, but it's mostly the drums. So I'm trying to get something going here. If I push all the way, it's gonna start distorting. You probably hear a little bit there. So we're not going all the way, but trying to get those under control. Now, you see how that kind of rose up? Those bottom peaks, I'm gonna... Now you see how big the disparity is between those peaks now? So we successfully kind of flattened out those top peaks without like fully cutting them like a limiter. We've maintained the integrity of the sound. And then we've got the volume of that low part way closer to the volume of the peaks. Great. What this means is now when we push the limiter, what was the LUFS before over here? 9, -9, -10. We should be able to get higher than that because these peaks aren't triggering that stuff. So let's push. Volume warning too. Okay, where are we at? 3.2. Can we go lower? 3.4, 3.6. So let's pull this down. Want to keep it about -3 on the gain reduction, but look at our LUFS now. -6. We went up +3 LUFS. This bad boy is loud. We don't hear that distortion because we're not pushing the limiter too much. And let's prove it. Let's prove it. So this is the previous bounce of this from the 14th, right? We got our AB, metric AB, sync it so the timing's right. And then I like having the dual. So just right off the bat, the meters, look, -6, -8 LUFS on the old version. And you can hear it. Also, you can hear the changes we made too. Things pop a little bit more. Especially those drums are popping on this version. So with the mix, right, getting that stuff lined in, we added a lot of that analog saturation. We're giving some life to the instruments, especially those drums. And we're getting it louder without the distortion. So loud. Sounds great. Yeah, that kick was killing me. You can hear it on this one. I want that punch. I didn't need that sub from that kick. Keeps it light too, the heavy kick. Yeah, the heavy kick wasn't working for me. You can see even here, that's where that kick sub was hitting. This is definitely a little bit lower. Just from looking at the meter, you can tell, you know? This is personal preference. I like not minus 2, minus 0.2. I moved that kick up a little bit. See how we're hitting here? So we got to back this off. 0.63, so let's bring it down to 9 even. 0.36, I said 0.63. Okay, we got some leeway now. 0.21. 0.31. Let's back that off. Yeah, right in that -3 range. 3.2. Go. Let it play out. Let's hear the rest of this verse here. By the way, this bass patch from Motobass is so cool. I think it sounds really nice. It's got all that kind of high-end stuff that you would like from the bass. That pluckiness of it sounds really good. I like it too because I could draw in the notes because I have my bass, but sometimes I can't play the stuff I want it to happen here, you know? And I can change notes too, you know. Record on the bass, it's a little tougher to change the notes. You can still change it with pitch and stuff, but sometimes it doesn't sound as clean. Cool. Save the bad boy. And then I want to, I'm going to do some, what do I want to do this? I want these on the tracks. Oh shit, I fucked that up. T. So now they're here, right, available for us. We're going to give them a color. Give them a yellow. Because what we're going to do now, let's bounce the track. And then we are also going to do stems, track outs and mastered stems. So I'll show you this process, and then I think we only got through one today, but I think that's a good stopping point. So for Logic here, it's different on Pro Tools, on other ones, but Logic, I like setting this end marker here to where I want to stop. So I always do, even no matter what tempo, I always give it just the 2 bars. Boom. And if it was on a EP or a record, someone's album, that's when it jumps into the next song. That's how I think of it. I always have it clean up to the front. I know some other people have their sessions where it's a bar in. I always have it clean up to the front. I think that's for me, a personal preference, but I think they're, when people have it up to the front, they may have like MIDI that goes sooner than the front. So in that case, you would maybe do a highlight and start your bounce a little earlier. But all my stuff starts right on the grid. So okay, we got everything labeled how we want it. Can we make these smaller? I think I'll keep them as is. We'll call this E piano. I would name these, but whatever. I'm not. Because the stems. Because I want these all bounce for the stems. We'll call this drums. Cool. Leave it like that. Save. Wait. Let's give this a name. MEL, melody. Great. Save it. Lock it in. Let's hit our bounce. And we're going to do a name formatting here. This is how I like it. I'm looking at the key, G minor. Another underscore, 100 BPM. And I literally put it just like that. The reasoning is when someone drops into a session, they will have the BPM and the key right there on the track, and they can, boom, look at it, set their BPM and key. Great. Bounce it. I always do a wave and an MP3 bounce. And then let's put a little background music while we're doing this. Cool. So we got our bounce. Now let's focus on getting all the stems, or track outs would be just the individual tracks. Stems would be, you can put stuff together, like the drums can go together. The bass is its own, keys can be together, guitar can be together. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I like to do the stems. And those go through the master chain. These will just have whatever is on their chain. So if a mixer wants to go through, do that, they can mess with them individually. So we're getting just the individuals, kick, drums, perk, all that stuff. We're doing the guitars by themselves, flutes, and we're getting our reverb and whatnot. I'm going to hit export, wave, normalize off. I like having the track number and name so it looks like that when you drop it in. And I'll show you what these look like. All these bounces look like when you drop them into a session, because all of these are going to another session. Everything's going to another session. These aren't done by any means. Okay, so that's that. That goes out. And these aren't going through the master, or they're not going through the mix bus, master bus. They're not going through the drum bus or guitar out. They're just as is. So anything out of here won't have it, because then the mixer can kind of do their thing with it. And they're not limited, so there's a lot of headroom. They can gain it up if they want to. And then the verbs are here too, so they can bring these verbs in. If they want to use them, they can. If they don't, no harm, no foul. They just don't need to put them in their session. I personally, if I'm mixing it, I'll bring those verbs in, see if I like where they're at, add to them, bring them down, whatever. Plus, those are the verbs that the producer appreciated and liked. So, as a mixer, you could just build off of that and enhance, as opposed to be like, oh, I'll just do my own verbs, because maybe that's what makes the song, verbs and delays, you know? Okay, so that is our track bounce. Okay, first of all, I didn't make a folder, so those are probably everywhere, as I suspected. So make sure you put these into a folder. And same thing, let's grab this info, copy, just for now. And we'll call this track outs, and then put that behind it. Now, if you just send the track outs, at least they have the folder that has the key and the BPM. Okay? So the master sims are a little bit different. What we're trying to do is capture these with going into our master chain. So all of those muted except our reverbs and whatnot, because we're going to be into those want to be on there. So just all the other instruments are out. So you're just hearing drums. This would be good for performance, for remixes. You know, if a DJ wants to get home, they can remix, add them in, but they're already mastered and limited to the loud level, so they're not dropping them into a mix and it's too quiet. You know. All right. So we have that highlighted. These others are muted. So this one is a little bit different. We have to do these individually. That's just the nature of it. And we're going to create a folder very similar to this. I want to just grab this info so it's easy. Actually, let's go back here. New folder. Same info, except I'm putting... So they know. Track outs, all the individual tracks, master stems. These are going to be kind of the sub-mixes, but they're all mastered. And then I put the mix of what it's going to be. Drums. And, you know, that stuff is already in there. I think it's just easier to look at that way. So that's what it's going to look like. Let's bounce it. And I'm going to open up a blank session. I'm going to import all these so you guys can see what these look like when they're brought in. What's interesting is the master stems are all going to be loud and they're not working together into the mix like that. So whoever gets these master stems, they'll have to adjust their volume accordingly. But each one can work on its own. So just a thought, but I like having those in there. It's great for performances, especially if you're performing with a band. It's like, oh, I don't want the drums, if I want everything else, boom. Your drummer can play without having the drums in the track. You know, they load up in Logic or any of these iPad, playback systems, Ableton, whatever. The playback is there for whatever they're going to be recording to. When I'm doing this, I'm thinking end product. Where is this going to be going? What's the purpose for these specific stems, specific masters, track outs, or just the actual bounce, I got two versions of the bounce, right? I got a WAV and MP3. Some producers who are going to be recording people, they're probably going to want the WAV, so you get the less compressed version. Maybe I just need to send an MP3 to someone to check it out, and I just want to send it through email. That fits in email, 2.6 megabytes. You know what I mean? So now I have options. All these old ones too, going back to the organization thing, I just put them in a folder, call them old. I don't delete them, just for a reference to come back. But now I got a nice clean bounces folder with my master stems, trackouts, and the actual bounce of the beat. And then these are all ready to go straight to BeatStars. You know what I mean? Drums, done. Let's do bass. We have to do the same bounce. And we can just go O2 bass. And you'll understand why I'm doing the RPM. What's up? Welcome to the chat, man. So, how's it going? You mixing? You making any music? I'm just doing some exports right now for this beat. And I'm just tying together kind of the big groups for these mastered stems. Drums, bass, and that's why I'm numbering to them. You're going to understand why I'm numbering them too. This is why I number them. The master stems just takes longer because I need it going through the master bus, the mix bus, right? The two pianos I'm keeping in there. And we'll call that O3. And we'll just call it general keys. And you see I have an E piano down here with the flutes. It's playing a different line that's going to match up with the flutes. So I don't want that really linking up with these. So I'm going to do that one separately. That'll be its own. Good news is guitar roll's here, so I can just have these and then just do the guitar roll. So technically I only have 1, 2, 3 left because the flutes are going to go together too. Get some water. I'm doing these now to show you, but also, you know, it'll save you time on the back end. So, our guitars, once again, leaving all the reverbs up, so those go through to the master as well. Wait, hold up. O4 guitars. Yeah, I wouldn't be working off these to master, to mix or master. I'd just be working off these for a performance or remixing. If I'm mixing, these go into, you get these, you get the track outs. So you have everything separate. I mean, the other thing you do with the master stems too is say you liked how that main melody line is. Maybe you keep that and then you sample it for something and it's mastered, sounds, ready. That's ready to go, as opposed to using the track out of those melodies where you have multiple ones, you gotta mix them or do whatever, bounce them together. These are already done. So that's why I include the two. Close those. Our flutes together. The E-piano I know does the same thing, but we're going to bounce that separately too. So 05 flutes. I need to find a new like copyright thing. Hold on. Let me look at my phone. All right, that's our flutes. And then finally, we're doing the piano. E piano. So it's definitely not like everything's together. It's like kind of pick out how, if I was performing, I could take out specific parts, you know. Cool. So save that. Let's create an empty template, and I want to show you what these bounces look like and why I'm bouncing them the way they are. So let's go back to our Finder. Let's start with our two bounces here. As far as how they load, exactly the same. One's going to be the MP3, one's going to be the Wave. Smaller, bigger, right? The MP3 and the Wave, audibly, there's probably a very, very subtle difference, but not enough it's going to affect us here. Probably the big thing is when they bounce, let's see if I can get it here. Yeah, see. We're good here. Because sometimes what you'll see is there's a lot of space at the beginning, but this is good. Everything's right on beat. So those are our actual bounces. That's what we would send to BeatStars or send to producers to record someone. You could send the MP3 too. It's smaller file. Okay. I'm sending this beat to a mix engineer. I got it kind of where I want it sounding wise, but maybe the artist wants it, mixed over the actual stems, over the actual tracks, right? A mixing engineer is going to have a lot more control here. And a couple things. As you notice, the numbers, keep them in the kind of organized order that I have them. Not everyone has it the same way, but I think generally drums, bass, harmony, melody, and then vocals for me on the bottom. But at least they're not looking and trying to find everything. They'll see it, understand that this is kind of what this looks like, and that's what we have. Okay? Why there's a bass and a solid bass, I don't know. Maybe it was a hidden track. So I may have to go back and look at that. But yeah, our pianos, guitars, our flutes. Yep, everything looks good. Yeah, that's the only thing. Why do I have a bass and the solid bass? So I'll have to look back at the session. Now, if we're doing this for performance or remixing, it's the same thing under Master Sims. except we're looking at less stuff, right? I know I have MP3s and waves. I'm going to pull this in for waves. Maybe I'm remixing this. Boom. A lot tighter, smaller, and you notice there's less tracks. And it's loud. So the thing I would say is if you play these all together, it's going to clip because everything's mastered outside of each other. So all that volume is going to push. You're going to see it. Especially when the beat hits. It's already clipping here. So I would probably just bring that down by a little bit. Just so it's not hitting. Actually, Logic has a really nice feature here. Say I want everything gained -1 individual regions. I need more. See, I have 3, so let's do -5. But whoever's going to be using these, they'll want to mix it on their setup for live performance. So they'll like, I need to bring the bass down, need to take the drums completely out, whatever. All of that's there, but it's at the, they'll be at the volume of what the original beat is too. So there you go. Yeah, that took a little bit of time because we did all the exporting at the end, but that's all for me necessary. It needs to be done. I am wondering about that. Why do I have 2 basses? So let's investigate that before we finish up. Close. Stop save. Yeah, see, that was muted. That solid soul electric bass. So I don't know why that bounced with it. Maybe when I did the all. Yeah, that kick MIDI went too. So we got to be careful with these. We got to make sure these are off. All our hidden tracks off so they don't go with our bounces. So, in fact, actually all I have to do is delete kick MIDI and solid soul electric bass because I end up going with the other bass. Boom. Now everything when I drop it in will be in order. I should have done at least this. There we go. So actually, you know what? So we know it's clean and done correctly. Can't believe I closed that screen. What's the name of this? Endless. We're just going to redo this bounce thing out. Yeah, when I had those on in the hidden, they're selected too. If they're off, they won't be. So that's why that happened. Okay, same thing. Everything's there. Track outs. Export.
so deep. Now when I try to sleep, I feel so bad. I should leave, and by the time it's done, I'll be gone.
Makes me wonder if I should do those mastered stems at a different output level. So when you play them all together, they're not peaking like that. And then they don't have to make any adjustments. The only thing, it won't be as loud together. So like, what do I set it to? I don't know. Something to think about. All right. So now, save. Let's just hide this for now so I don't have to reopen it. Here's our track outs. Yeah, clean. Everything's in there how we want it. So now when you bring it into a session, if I'm mixing, right? So new, close. All right, hey, can you mix this? Sure. All our stuff is in there. I'm turn off background music. So it doesn't have the mix bus on it, so it's not as loud. Right? But everything's there. Oh man, what was the tempo for that? No problem. The track outs, G minor 100. And you're free to gain stage, you're free to do whatever you want from this section on. So, the other thing was, I played with the idea of putting in the tempo and stuff in here, but I just figured they go to the folder where they got from. But in a recording session, if I just want the beat, the information's already on the beat. So, once again, don't import. So our information's already here. It's already here, so I can type that stuff into if I'm doing a recording session. Yeah. So it's ready to go. And that's how it's done. Oh, I'm not saving that at all. Don't save. And that is our session. Our beat. That took a little longer because I was doing some explaining and I did all the exports, which I actually have to do on some other ones because I didn't do that. So I'm already going against what I said, but, you know, I'll do better next time. All right, sweet deal. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. We'll be back on tomorrow doing more of the same, and we'll get it on then. So hope you guys have a great rest of your Mondays. Take it easy. See you later.
You see, now tainted love is all we had. Our issues run so deep. Now when I try to sleep, I feel so bad. I should leave, and by the time it's done, I'll be You said the same thing I told ya. My eyes are clear, there's no secret. I wanna know